Hello everyone. We're going to start off with a warm-up. You will need your Essential Elements book, where you're going to take a look at page 18, number 86, Tone Builder. As you can see with this daily warm-up, we are utilizing G, F, E, D, and C. If you take a look at the time signature, the time signature is 4/4. You already know this, but I'm just going to remind you. It means that we have 4 beats per measure and that the quarter note gets the beat. We first start off with our open G quarter notes, 4 of them, and then we descend, go down to an F for the next measure. We go back to our G, and then we play an E. So the first 2 measures, we have repetition of those G's happening, and then we step down to the F, and then we step back to the G for the 3rd measure, and then we have a leap to the 4th measure, G to E. Let's take a look at number 86 on page 18, the daily warm-ups, and let's play it. I am looking at my Essential Elements book, number 86. Let's play it together. I'll count us off. 1, 2, 3. As you can see in this particular warm-up, we have commas. Those are breath marks that indicate that we should breathe there, or the phrase, the musical idea, has ended and we're coming up with a new musical idea. We also see that in the end, there's a repeat sign. So it's important that we play it not once, but twice. Ready? let's take a look at our tune. I'm using the Essential Elements book. I'm looking at page 17, number 81. Waltz theme, the Merry Widow Waltz. The waltz is a type of dance, and this type of dance is normally in 3. And a lot of times people will feel it in 1. You'll feel it's like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's the dance of the waltz, and that's how the music goes. And you know what? It probably is like that with this song. Now I'm taking a look. I see I have my treble clef. And then I see a symbol. Ah, that's my key signature. That's a flat. And based on looking at where the location of the flat is, we have those spaces in those lines. Let me count the lines. 1, 2, 3. The flat is on the 3rd line. All B's, because we know that 3rd line is B, all the B's are flat. So the key that's normally that has 1 flat, we normally call that F major. And it looks like also, just checking for accidental. No, I don't see any. You remember that accidentals are when we see sharps, flats, or naturals that indicate that we are playing a note that's outside of the key that we have. But you know what? I don't see that. Good. We always check for that. I see a tempo marking. It says moderato. That means medium tempo. Okay. And we have dynamics. We have a mezzo forte. Mezzo means medium, and we know that forte means loud. So we're at a medium loud tempo. I like to say that's like a speaking voice tempo. And let's see. Measure 1, 2, 3. I see some lines opening up. That's called a crescendo. That indicates that we have to gradually get louder. And we get louder all the way to an F that's forte. Forte means loud. So we start at mezzo forte, medium loud, and then we grow our dynamic to forte. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, measure 7. There's a dotted half note, and the dotted half note is an open G, and it's tied. That adds value to the notes. It's 4 beats worth of a G going to that next measure, and I see that now. I see like that opening. It's kind of getting smaller. That's a decrescendo. That means that tempo that that dynamic that we had, that forte, we're going to get softer, and then we have the 2 rests, and then it looks like we do the same sort of stuff in the second system. That means the second line of the music with that mezzo forte, growing and building to that forte, and then we stay forte. All right, let's take a look, and let's start with maybe clapping and saying the notes so we can be more familiar with the music. All right, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I'm going to start in the first line. It's a total of 8 measures. Then we'll look at the second line, that second system, in a little bit. But let's first clap and say that first line. The tempo that I'm going to go is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we're going to feel it. That emphasis is going to be in the beginning of the measure. And usually the beginning of that measure, we call it a downbeat. So if you hear me say the word downbeat, I'm referring to the beginning of the measure. Okay, so I'm going to clap and say my first note is a C. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, C, F, G, A, C, F, G, A, B flat, A, G, rest, rest. Let's try it again. A lot of times waltzes will feel kind of fast because of that big feeling. We feel that whole measure. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. C, F, G, A, C, F, G, A, B flat, A, G, rest, rest. then the next line. Okay. Try to see if you can do it on your own, and if it feels comfortable, then you can switch to the clarinet. Now that we have our rhythm down, it's time to play this first line. Let me play for you first, and you can play along with me if you want, but you might want to just hear it first and then play the second time around. Let's try it. All right, that first line. Basically, what we just clapped, that's what we're going to be playing. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now one of the things you might have noticed was, wow, it just went by so fast. It's 8 measures, but it just kind of glided through. That's the beauty of the waltz. You just kind of like glide and float in the music. All right, so now you had a chance to hear it. Now, play with me. Let's try it. 1, 2, 3, 1. Nice. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Sounds good. I think we're ready to look at this next line. Now, if you're playing it and you feel like you need a little bit more time, that's totally cool. You can rewind kind of the video a little bit and play along again, or you can pause it and then practice it a little bit and then move on with us. All right, we've done the first line of number 81, and now we're ready to do the second line. I'm looking, and you know what? Do you see what I see? The rhythm. You know, the half notes, quarter notes, the value of the notes, the duration of the notes. Is it the same as the first line? Let's take a look and investigate. First measure, okay, we have a half note and a quarter note. Now measure 9, that's that second line, that second system. We have a half note and a quarter note there. Measure 2. Same thing. Measure 3 is the same thing. Let's see, 9. Measure 10 is half note, quarter note. You know what? The rhythm's the same. So we have that same kind of floating kind of feeling. However, the notes are different. Now, measure 9 and measure 1, the first note is C. But the preceding notes, that note in beat 3, it's not the same as measure 1, right? We have a low G. Just a reminder, low G is thumb, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's a low G. Okay. Now, let's see if we can clap and say that last line that we have. Same feel. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. C, G, A, G flat, C, G, A, G flat, C, G flat, A. Okay. Now one thing that I want you to notice, I just thought about this. We have our high B flat or higher B flat that we play with our A key, I like to call it the teardrop key, and the string being key, which is that back key called the register key. But we also have that low B, which is thumb, 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay. Let's try and clap and say one more time, just because it flies by so quickly. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. C, G, A, B flat, C, G, A, B flat, C, B flat, A, rest, rest. All right, let's try to play it. All right, second system. We're starting on that C mezzo forte. All right, we're in the second line. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Okay. All right, now, if you didn't play with me and listened, cool. But now I want you to play with me. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Great job, everybody. So we did the first line and we did the second line. Now it's time to combine the two. So just as a review, we do have our dynamics. Okay, so we gotta remember that. Key signature. Yeah, you have the flats, right? B flat. Okay. All right, I think we're ready. Starting from the beginning, I'm gonna do the whole thing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Wow, nice work. So, if you notice when you were playing with me, you notice I was kind of going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I feel that music, I feel that dance. So, let's see. Usually when I play through a piece of music, I ask myself, what can I do differently? Maybe when you were playing or when I was playing, I could have done the more dynamics, play it out a little bit more forte. Or maybe I didn't start mezzo forte. Maybe I started a little too loud. And then when I wanted to build my dynamic to forte, I didn't quite get there. All right, so let's see. I think we should try it again. Let's do it one more time. So we're gonna do the whole thing one more time. And this time, we're going to try to focus on one thing that we want to change and make it better. All right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You just played your first waltz. Congratulations.